This is the Sony Mavica FD-81, released on November 16th, 1998 at a whopping $899. So $1776 today is a floppy disk camera. It doesn't use your normal SD cards, doesn't use your normal CF discs or your mini DVDs, any of that jazz. It uses 3.5-inch floppy disks. So let's talk about that. I picked this camera up at a government auction for about $140 after fees. Came with a bunch of other stuff. It wasn't just this. This camera, I think, is usually worth around $15 to $30 on eBay, give or take. And obviously, I mean, mine came with the manual, came with the strap. That's it. Didn't come, and I guess the lens cap, but it didn't come with any of the floppies. It didn't come with a battery charger, any of that stuff. So I had to go on eBay myself and pick up, not eBay, Amazon, and pick up floppy disks. This is a 15-pack. You need high density. Double density will not work, and I even tested it and didn't work. Picked this up for $22.99 for 15, which is expensive for floppy disks. But it was new old stock. I had to unseal it, unshrink wrap it, and everything from Maxwell. And then for $25.99 was this battery charging dock cradle with two of these batteries, which just, of course, go into the very bottom of the camera. They just slot in. It takes two of them. They can last a decent amount of time, depending on if you're taking what they consider fine photos or standard photos, and email video, which is one of the formats that it can use. Standard video, bitmap video, all sorts of stuff. And depending on the flash as well. Obviously, if you're using a lot of flash, that's going to drain your battery much quicker. So if you have the backlight on, which we'll take a look at in a minute, but it uses these nifty little batteries. The basically any Sony compatible NP5 F550 or 570 will work in this guy. You just plop it in, and it comes in at 1.7 pounds, 1.7 freedom units, 650 grams for you guys out east. The lens is 3x zoom, three times zoom, has auto and manual focus, which is quite nifty, and the lens goes from 5.2 to 15.6 millimeters with the zoom. And the aperture is a focal range of f2.0 to f2.1, depending on what mode you're using. Like if you're using pan focus mode or just regular soft portrait or standard, just any modes that you choose to use. So let's take a look at the actual features of the camera. When you're looking at the very, very front of it, you'll see you have quite a bit of options of what you can take a look at. So let's get a closer, in-depth angle of that. Okay, so now that we're taking a closer look at the Mavica, let's go ahead and see what options that you get with this camera. So of course it has the lens cap, lens cover, which you can just hook up to your neck strap, carry this thing around. Comes off. It's got the nice little dial for your focus. And then it's got the manual and auto switch. There's the flash right there. There's the little indicator for when you're using the timer, which can be nice. At the bottom, you get your normal tripod mount. I believe it's 1/4 inch. And of course, you get the battery door, which you just flip this little switch, pop up, and here she comes. And this is the battery compartment. You just press down this little knob. It begins to pop out a little bit. Just pull it out. It can be a little finicky. These are the batteries I was showing you earlier and talking about. These are the Amazon Chinesium ones. Let's go and pop them in. Closes just like that. On the right side of the camera, we have the 3.5-inch floppy drive. You can kind of see the floppy already in there. And then to get the floppy out, there's actually a very cool mechanism. So you have to push this down, which is labeled push right there. You push that down, slide this over. Here she comes. Of course, it's just standard floppy. You just use high density. The double density doesn't work in my case. You just need a normal high density, like MS-DOS floppy. You just put them in there. Which obviously with this type of camera, you can put them in there while the camera's on. It'll say no disk, or it'll say disk full and have you swap it. You can even copy between, like, let's say you have two floppy disks, and you, for some reason, want to copy the photos from floppy disk A to floppy disk B. The camera will let you do that. It'll prompt you when to take it out, when to pop in the second one, floppy disk B in this example, and let you just copy everything over. If you need to make backups or something, like if you're on a road trip or taking important family photos, just stuff you want to keep extras of. So let's go ahead and turn the camera on, and we'll take a look at the rest of the features. That stamina thing right there, I believe, is just because this CR2025 battery is dead, and I'm not replacing it because I could give two shits about the clock. I know my photos weren't taken in 1998, so it doesn't matter to me. Don't want to spend $4 to $5 on the battery when I already spent $25 on these batteries. What did I say? $22.99 on the floppies and $13.99 on a USB floppy drive. So I am good. Down here at the bottom of the screen, I'm not sure if it's going to show up well in the camera, but you have how many minutes your battery has remaining. So mine is 317 minutes. If you were to switch off the backlight right here, which is not going to be easy to see on the camera, you can see it a little bit right there, but the LCD is still obviously on, it's just the backlight is off. But when we flip it back on, keep a close eye on the battery indicator, and you'll see that it's actually going to jump back down real quick. So I was looking at the camera, so let me see what we got. Yeah, so it went from 445 minutes to 316. That can be a nice way to just extend out your battery. If you're just sitting there taking a bunch of photos, boom, 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 you know that you don't need the backlight on, you go ahead and turn it off. It's got an LCD brightness switch right here. Nice little tactile switch. You can set to whatever you want. It's got the volume button, which is just when you're playing back movies. It doesn't really do anything on this screen if the beeps, since you can go ahead and entirely turn the beeps off. The flash has a nice light. This is going to show you. So right now, since it's kind of dark in my room and I'm pointing it at a mouse pad, the flash is basically telling me that if I were to take a photo, the flash would be on. So we can go ahead and demonstrate that. And this is actually a cool time to demonstrate how it has to, obviously since the floppy, it has to record. So you get the nice floppy sounds on the thing, and you can feel it vibrating when it's saving the photo or video to the drive. I believe, depending on the different camera settings you use, you can get between like 14 to I think 25 photos saved, and the videos can obviously vary. Sometimes it could be like 3 videos, sometimes it could be 5 videos. It's just going to depend on what your settings are. Down here we have picture effect, which I'm just going to get this up close to the camera so that we can see everything. So this is going to be standard. I don't even know if my camera will pick this up, but this is the negative art, which will take photos of each one, just so I can show you guys on the actual screen. I'll cut them in on the right. We have sepia, we got black and white, we got solarize, and then this is the standard that we were looking at already. This is going to be the zoom switch up here. Put it to the left to zoom out, put it to the right to zoom in. It's a nice little switch. It's got like a thumb indent if that's picking up. And another cool thing I thought that was cool with this camera is that right now it's zoomed all the way in. You can see that little indicator right there. It's zoomed all the way in. If we were to shut the camera off, turn it back on, since it's all zoom inside of the lens body, since nothing's like physically protruding out, it actually stays all the way zoomed in when you turn it back on. So I'm gonna have to manually zoom it back out. And even all of that got us to 295 minutes of usage left on this guy. Another option we didn't take a look at is the program, which it goes to, it has standard, like the normal just taking photos. You got self-portrait, sports lesson, beach and ski, sunset and moon, landscape, and then last but not least, pan focus. And then you have the display button, which just gets rid of all these little things, which I don't think is too big of a deal to have them on there. I mean, they're pretty minimal. And then as we get into here, we'll take a look at the menu last, but you have your EV options for plus minus. I believe it goes to 1.5. Yeah, minus and plus 1.5. And then you have the timer option, which is a 10-second timer, which I can go ahead and show you guys out. Let me just get the flash off. So we'll go ahead and let me actually set it to manual focus too, just that it doesn't try to keep locking onto the camera. But you'll notice that is flashing, and I believe it's going to go for 10 seconds. Yep, there it goes. It's counting down. Boom, it took the photo. If we turn it on quickly, you can see that it's recording it. And then we'll take a look at the movie option. When you flip that over, it doesn't do a whole reload on the screen or anything. Just the visual indicators that you'll notice are up here at the top. And that little F thing, I didn't go over that, but that right there is just saying that I'm using manual focus instead of autofocus. Let me get auto back on. And that's just saying that my flash is off, because you have the modes of flash off. This is going to be standard. We're just going to be like an auto flash if you need it or not. And this will always light up if it's going to use your flash. And then you can just force flash on no matter what. So we're going to keep that off for right now, since it's not going to work in movie mode. When we switch it over, you see it puts a little movie film icon right there, like a 35mm film type thing. It's got 12, which is just how many photos or videos are on your individual floppy disk. And then this is how long it records. It has 5-second clips. You can't do any longer. So let's go ahead and get that going. So right now you see that it's counting down recording. We're going to let that get all the way down to 0. Yep, it did 5 seconds. So we're saving it to the disk right now. You got the file name, the date, the time, which is inaccurate for me because, like I talked about, I'm not replacing this battery. I'm not paying $5 for that because I could give two shits about the date and time on this thing. When we go to the menu, using this nice little dial, it's got up, down, left, right, and then you press down to actually enter. You actually have less options in here than you do if you were in still mode, which still is just your standard photo mode. So let's enter the menu again. So you can set your recording mode. I believe I brought this up briefly earlier. We have normal, email, voice, and bitmap, which is just the quality of the video. Like how big it's going to be on the disk. Quality right here is standard and fine, which don't make too much of a difference to me, my eyes. We have image size, which you can do 1024 by 768 or 640 by 480. And I got to bring this up. Another annoying thing, as soon as you leave the individual option, it puts it all the way back to the bottom. Okay, flash level, you can do low, normal, or high. File number is just how it's going to save on the disk for when you're reading on your computer. You can either do series or normal, isn't really. It's just kind of personal preference. Disk tool is cool. Lets you, this is the disk copy, where it'll let you pop in another floppy disk and it'll copy all the data from floppy disk A to B, or B to C, Z to Q, doesn't really matter. And then this is just format, which when you use it, it'll ask you if you want to format. We're not going to do that right now. This is just so you can turn off the beep on the camera. It's a yes or no option, and this is just setting the clock. So you can get the accurate date time. You can do year, month, day, year, day, month, year, which is really cool because obviously in America, a lot of us use month, day, year. Obviously overseas, they use, I believe it's day, month. No, wait, yeah, day, month, year. So it's very nice that they give you that option. Go ahead and turn him off. And turn it back on because I forgot to show you play mode. So when you open that up, it's going to say we have 13 of 13. This is just what I've taken on here. It also gives you a nice index option. So, yep. Well, I like that it flashes the little digital Mavica. So you can see sample photos we've taken. These are just ones when I was messing with the filters earlier. But if we want to open one of these up, let's say we want to open picture 11. Yep, so it's going to show us right in here. We could also just pop on over easy to picture number 10. Open our menu. We don't want to, let's just say we want to delete this picture. We'll hit OK. It's going to go ahead and wipe it off the floppy disk. And we'll show you the video playback feature. So I'm not going to gloss over it. So it's going to load it up. We can hit play. Yep, because it uses the microphone at the top. And like I said, there's just 5-second clips. We put that back to still mode. And you can just keep on shooting like it's your wedding. You can do as much as you want. It does not matter. So let's go ahead and get this floppy to the computer and see what photos we got. Okay, so let's take a look at the pictures we got. So this is going to be the standard mode, your normal one, no picture filter or anything like that. This right here is going to be the black and white. We go right here. This is going to be the sepia. Sepia, I'm not really sure how you say that. This right here is the negative art. And then this right here is our standard. Excuse my disgusting mouse pad. And then looking at the video we got. So right now you see that it's counting down recording. We're going to let that get all the way in the park. From a distance it would be fine, but trying to use this up close, I mean, it's you can barely tell it. This is a keyboard. In fact, these look almost like pits. The little key, where the keys are. That's going to conclude everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Thank you.